A very pleasant Wednesday evening to you, wherever you may be, and welcome to the news at 10 from the state capitol. I'm Sam Hoyle. We are at the Montana State Capitol as lawmakers race towards the halfway point, that deadline known as transmittal, where all general bills must pass through at least one chamber of the House by Friday. And the only bills that can be introduced past that point are bills that have to do with revenue or spending, meaning this is one of the busiest days. Actually, really, the rest of the week is one of the busiest times of the year for the Montana State Legislature. Now, we start here at the Senate, where I watched lawmakers debate dozens and dozens of bills. Several housing bills passed second readings, but one exceptionally interesting bill to the general public would be Senate Bill 323, brought by Republican Senator Jeremy Trebus of Great Falls, which would allow duplex, triplex, and fourplex homes to be built on land zoned for single-family homes. That bill passed 42 to 8, rather. Senate Bill 328 by Senator Dennis Lenz from Billings, which passed its second reading unanimously, has the potential to integrate policies from the Indian Child Care Welfare Act that the United States Congress passed in the 1970s into all child protection services cases in Montana, that assuming the bill moves through the House. And two bills that caught fire over the last few months following the suspected Chinese surveillance balloon earlier this year. Senate Bill 206, brought by Kenneth Bogner, would prevent quote-unquote foreign adversaries from buying, leasing, or renting land used for agricultural production or real property, or a residence that has a direct line of sight to any part of a military installation. That bill passed 48 to 2, but a similar bill, Senate Bill 256, brought by Carl Glim from Kyla, which states that any resident from a country deemed as a foreign adversary by the U.S. government must sell their property before the end of the year or face the eminent domain process. That bill was not endorsed by the Senate.
Montana representatives spent about 9 hours on the House floor Wednesday as they debated and took preliminary votes on about 90 bills, each of which has to meet a Friday transmittal deadline to get through the first chamber or die in the process. The House is planning to get through nearly 200 bills by the end of the week. On Wednesday, members gave initial approval to two different proposals for charter schools. The first, House Bill 562, would create community choice schools and establish a state commission to authorize charter proposals. The second, House Bill 549, would give local school districts the first opportunity to set up charter schools. Lawmakers disagreed over which proposal would be best, but many voted to keep both moving forward.
If you're motivated to get a charter school, a functional charter school program in front of this state, I would recommend that we advance both of these and work through reconciling them so that we can have a win for the students and parents of Montana that's satisfactory for everyone.
The House also endorsed HB 575, which would prohibit abortion of viable infants except when necessary to protect the mother's life. It would require providers to make a determination of viability in writing, and it would presume viability no later than 24 weeks into pregnancy. Some of the other bills the House endorsed Wednesday afternoon include an expansion of the Coal Trust Homes program to support multifamily housing, a ban on ranked choice voting in state or local elections, and a bill establishing state rules seeking to prevent large tech companies from censoring based on viewpoint. The House will be back on the floor first thing Thursday morning with dozens more bills to consider. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.